All set? Okay. Okay, excuse me. I'd like to call the Town Board meeting of April 8th, 2025 to order. Please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence to remember those who served our country in the past and for those who continue to protect our country today. Thank you. Please note the emergency exits are the door you came in and the doors at the end of the hall and the door behind us. I had a request from the rec director to just let people know that the new playground's not opened yet due to the cold weather because we can't. It doesn't permit the pouring of the rubber matting. It has to be at a certain temperature. So hopefully it's going to warm up soon, and Danny is really hoping so. So we'll see how that goes. Well, as long as I'm talking about Danny, they had a wonderful event on the weekend. The Easter egg hunt and the Easter bunny came to visit, and it was a little cloudy and rainy outside, but sunny inside. About 150 attended. And everyone had a wonderful time. So let's see. I'm going to run through the agenda items. One through 10 are our minutes. And then 11 is our usual monthly budget revisions that we do. Number 12 is we're giving the contract for lawn maintenance service. And I'm just going to make a statement about that right now. We've used them for the last 3 years. And they've been extremely responsive. All the teams have been very happy with the way and satisfied with the preparation of the fields. We've had absolutely no emergencies, no problems with them. And I want to make note, yet once again, that I personally, at my home or prior to the sale of my business in December of 2024, I've never used Neve for any of the services they offer. I've personally used one gentleman for over 30 years and the other company for over 10. This summer at a meeting I mentioned that fact, and shortly after the meeting ended, it was posted that on social media that I stated that fact, that I don't use Neve, and then a gentleman responded on social media that he knew for a fact that my statement was false. And then the innuendo started on social media, which is just a toxic environment, and it's so incredibly unfair to mislead residents on this topic. I have with me invoices from my business and my home for the services provided for snow plowing and mowing for a number of years, and I can go back for more years if people want, but I have a selection. I'm going to state once again, I do not use Neve now, in the past, or ever. They do a wonderful job for the town, but I've never used them. It would be incredibly unethical as the town supervisor if I did. A clear conflict of interest. Additionally, I'm incredibly happy with the two gentlemen who have provided services for me for many, many years. If anyone would like to see the invoices, see me after the meeting or come visit me, and I'll have them available for review in my office. We can only have transparency with truth. I have a number of them here for the business and the home, if anyone would like to see them. As I said, either after the meeting or give me a call and you can come in and look at them. And if it's not enough, I will go to my basement and dig out some more. Uh, 13, we're hiring a seasonal part-time maintenance employee. The maintenance workers are going to be very busy with several projects on our facilities this summer. And additionally, one of the maintenance workers is leaving in July, so we're planning ahead so we're not caught short-handed. Number 14 is the additional hours for the emergency temporary part-time appointment for the Justice Court clerk. Number 15 is retaining the consultant for repairs to the highway garages, upgrades for the garage doors. He's going to be supervising the bid package as well as the work. We're renewing our IT support contract with Logically. Number 17 is our year-end report on the reserve funds for 2024. Resolution number 18 is to explain the payment process for New York State, county, and grant funds. Number 19 is the 284 agreement for road repair and paving. And then number 20 is our payment of funds. We'll start with the agenda items. Kate Blake.
Hi, everybody. Kate Blake, 231 Clap Hill Road. Actually, just wanted to say that I did see that I think you guys had 3 different vendors reviewed for the lawn care services in tonight's materials package, and I thought that that was awesome.
We did the last time too, by the way.
Okay,
One
awesome.
was, he charged 31 and change, Neve, 3 years ago. What was one of them, the top one, 125-ish?
Yeah, it was over 100,000.
I did see that the one was very significantly out of the ballpark for Duchess
Not
Morris.
this one, I mean,
No.
we're talking 3 years, I mean, it was out of the ballpark too, but 3 years ago, one was about 125,000.
Oh, wow. So I want to say I thought that was a good thing, and I just, but specifically, as you saw in my note, I wanted to speak about the Logically contract, because I noticed that there is an increase in service costs of $1,277.50 a month. Presumably, I assume it seemed to suggest in the documentation that it was some sort of upgrade or change in services, which is fine. But I just wanted to say that I hope that we did some sort of similar due diligence for that contract, because that works out to be a little over $15,000 a year in increased service cost. That's all.
Their initial cost was significantly more, that's why the delay in accepting it, we got it down to that. Love to go to another company, but we're tied in with Dover with a shared service.
Gotcha.
So,
Thank you so much.
Bill.
Cold and windy. Bill Crane, 254 Gardner Hollow Road. When it comes to the number 12 and preparing the fields, I want to urge you to ask the Neve to avoid fertilizers, herbicides and pesticides that use toxic chemicals. Avoid the synthetic ones that avoid toxic chemicals. There are safe alternatives, and I hope you will urge them to explore those instead. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Okay. Before we move on to the minutes and the agenda items, I just want to make a couple comments about the minutes. We had a resident at the last meeting who asked for some clarity in terms of the minutes, and I'm hoping to provide some, although it's a little convoluted, and because they've been significantly past the time, it's a little bit difficult to follow. But one of the things that was brought to my attention by our senior clerk. And again, on social media, some rather negative comments, and that she was being blamed for not having done this, and it was quite upsetting to her. She will only post when asked to be posted. So she will not post anything from anyone unless they request it. If there were a problem and she posts something, she's going to be responsible for it if she wasn't requested to post it. So the procedure is, anyone who wants something posted on the website needs to make a request. There has to be clarity in the request so she understands it's definitive, the request, with clear instructions on what they would like done. Nothing is automatically posted to the website without a request. That's the procedure. If it's not sent to the senior clerk, that's her email, it won't get posted. She does not have access to anyone else's email, including the secretary, to the supervisor, or a senior secretary email that doesn't even exist. She only gets email and requests at her senior clerk email. She has attempted over the last several months to help and get clarity in terms of getting these done. She's created worksheets, she's updated the worksheets in terms of what we've accepted and what we haven't accepted and what is missing and what needs to be added. The only way we can accept minutes is if we receive them. If we don't receive them, we can't accept them. If we don't receive them, they can't even be posted. If she doesn't receive them, they can't be posted. So there's a procedure to how this goes, but this has nothing to do with the senior clerk. And it really created quite a difficult time for her with all of the very negative comments. The senior clerk does an incredible job for this town and has always done an incredible job. So I would appreciate if people maybe wanted to make a phone call if they had some suggestion, as opposed to posting stuff that's just not factual and misleading. So tonight we have several. We do have a procedure for anything that gets put on the agenda. It has to be received 8 days prior. If it's not received 8 days prior, it's not going to get put on the agenda. There's a number of them late months into 2024. Hopefully we will get this updated in short order. We still have a number of them that we've not received at all to go over. And I actually think there's some that's not posted when I was going over this from July that might be not posted. But it's been so convoluted, I have to review the ones in July because I think they're not on the website, July 18th and 23rd. And August 20th and September 10th are only up there. They've been approved, but all 4 of them were approved with corrections. The corrections are not up there, and 2 of them have drafts and 2 of them have not been sent. So she has not received them to put them up there. So tonight we'll do some, and hopefully at the next meeting we'll do some and we'll get caught up. But the senior clerk is not the person who should have a conversation on social media. She does a great job for the town. Do you want to start, Merson?
Yeah, thanks. Good evening, everyone. April 8th, it's 35 degrees, huh? Whereas Town Clerk Laureen Abatantuano has provided copies of the minutes of September 24, 2024 regular Town Board meeting to all members of the Beekman Town Board, and whereas Town Board members have had the opportunity to review said minutes. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board hereby accepts the minutes of the September 24th, 2024 regular Town Board meeting.
I'll second.
Okay, I would like to move to amend the minutes as follows. On that date, we had the Town Board read a handout, and at that time requested that it would be included in the minutes, and it wasn't. So I'm going to make another request to amend the minutes and to have them reflect the handout that the town board took the time to read that night. So be it resolved that the town clerk is directed to amend the minutes to reflect these corrections adopted tonight.
A second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote on my amendment, and then we'll vote on what you read, okay? Roll call vote?
Hold on, I'm writing it down. Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Benalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limek?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mormon?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passed.
A
If you would
second
like to
for
provide
Merson?
me with those, of those...
Yeah, I have a copy, I'll give it to
Okay.
you. Someone, second Merson?
I second Mercy.
Frank did.
Oh, Frank did, okay. Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote?
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Benalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limek?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mormon?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Whereas Town Clerk Lorraine Abitatuono has provided copies of the minutes of the September 30th, 2024 regular Town Board meeting to all members of the Beekman Town Board, whereas the Town Board members have had the opportunity to review said minutes, now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board hereby accepts the minutes of the September 30th, 2024 regular Town Board meeting.
I'll second that.
Town board discussion?
I move to amend the minutes as follows. On the 30th, it looks like there's a double sentence. The meeting was, I think, adjourned at 5:04, and then the next sentence says it was adjourned at 7:14 PM. So if you just remove the last sentence, I think it doesn't belong in those minutes, and that should be okay.
A second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And then that, now we need a second for Ezio reading it.
I'll second.
Okay,
Okay.
Merson
Or no.
seconded.
Oh,
I
Merson
did.
seconded, okay.
Yeah, Merson
Roll call
already
vote?
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Benalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limek?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mormon?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Excuse me, I have a cold. Whereas the town clerk, Lorena Abituana, has provided copies of the minutes of February 3rd, 2025 regular town board meeting to all members of the Beekman Town Board. And whereas the town board members have had the opportunity to review said minutes, now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby accepts the minutes of February 3rd, 2025 regular town board meeting.
I'll second that.
I move to amend the minutes as follows. It reads that Councilwoman Warman pointed out the exits. I did not. It was Supervisor Cavucci. I would like that changed.
Okay, I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now, who's second mine? Anybody? Okay,
I
I
did.
need a second.
Ezio did.
I
Ezio
did. I
did,
seconded
okay. Roll call vote, please.
Who's second, the second one, the first?
Frank, oh, the one I did, Frank.
I did the first one, Ezio did the second.
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Benalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limek?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mormon?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Whereas Town Clerk Lorraine Abitatuono was provided copies of the minutes of the March 25th, 2025 regular Town Board meeting to all members of the Beekman Town Board, and whereas the Town Board members have had the opportunity to review said minutes, now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board hereby accepts the minutes of March 25th, 2025 regular Town Board meeting.
I'll second that.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Benalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limek?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mormon?
I have to abstain. I wasn't here.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Sharon?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. You were writing.
Whereas Town Clerk Lorena Abitatuana has provided copies of the minutes of the March 4th, 2025 regular Town Board meeting to all members of the Beekman Town Board, and whereas Town Board members have had the opportunity to review said minutes, now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board hereby accepts the minutes on March 4th, 2025 regular Town Board meeting.
I'll second.
Okay. Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Capillari?
Abstain. I was not present.
Councilman Benalini?
Aye.
Councilman Lee-Mack.
Aye.
Councilman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Resolution 11. Whereas the Town of Beekman Accounting Office recommends certain budget revisions based on department requests and/or the accounting office review and analysis of expenditures or revenues. Now therefore be it resolved that the following itemized revisions are approved by the Town of Beekman Town Board for 2025 identified as budget revision number 2025-03 as follows.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Capelari.
Aye.
Councilman Benalini.
Aye.
Councilman Lee-Mack.
Aye.
Councilman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Okay, resolution number 12 pertaining to the lawn maintenance. Whereas the town of Beekman has solicited quotes for lawn service in order to adequately maintain the town's property, whereas the town of Beekman, in conformity with its purchasing policy, has determined that the quote from Neve Landscaping Incorporated is the best interest of the town, and whereas monies for this purpose were included in the 2025 budget, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Beekman does hereby accept the quote from Neve Landscaping Incorporated for mowing of specified properties for approximately 28 times during the growing season, the amount of $30,408 with a 3-year renewal option. And be further resolved that the town board hereby authorizes the supervisor to execute the agreement with Neve Landscaping Incorporated.
I'll second.
Town board discussion?
We do have the 3 estimates, and those will be put into the
Yes, they
minutes.
were put into the
Okay,
minutes, yeah.
great.
They were, I'm sorry, they were put into the agenda.
To the
up,
agenda,
up,
and then
and
minutes
then they'll
later.
be put into the minutes,
Good,
yeah.
thank you.
Continue on.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, roll call vote?
Councilman Capelari.
Aye.
Councilman Benalini.
Aye.
Councilman Lee-Mack.
Aye.
Councilman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Whereas the town of Beekman has from time to time employed seasonal part-time maintenance workers, and whereas the town of Beekman has advertised for seasonal part-time help and held interviews for the position, now therefore be it resolved that Charles Harris be hired for the summer months at a salary of $20 per hour.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote?
Councilman Capelari.
Aye.
Councilman Benalini.
Aye.
Councilman Lee-Mack.
Aye.
Councilman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Resolution 14. Whereas that due to unforeseen circumstances, Town Justice Murray unilaterally hired Cindy Peragio as a part-time clerk to the Justice on an emergency and temporary base, and whereas under the collective bargaining agreement, the CBA, by and between the Town of Beekman and the Civil Service Employees Association, Local 1000, AFS CME, AFL-CIO, which is the CSEA. The title of Clerk of the Justice is included in the CSA bargaining unit, and whereas CSEA, via its authorized representation, Neil Hurd, agreed and consented to the employment of Ms. Peragio as a part-time clerk, but only during the month of March 2025, and whereas Ms. Peragio has submitted hours worked in addition to the 3 evenings approved by Resolution 03-25-25-12 for the month of March 2025 as an emergency part-time clerk, but only during the month of March 2025. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Beekman does hereby acknowledge and ratify the unilateral actions of the Justice Murray in hiring Ms. Peragio and authorizes the additional hours as submitted at an hourly salary of $29.95 as provided for in conformity with the CBA.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Mary, just to let you know, I sent an email today about that, so I don't know if we need permission to remove her signature from the documents of the supplemental.
We've already taken care of that, as you're aware. It was put
It
up
wasn't,
this morning.
I
No,
didn't,
it
I still
was.
saw it on the
I
on the
checked
website,
myself.
so.
It was not this morning.
Okay, well, that's fine. I just wanted to make it noted that she called, and that's it. Councilman Capelari.
Aye.
Councilman Benalini.
Aye.
Councilman Lee-Mack.
Aye.
Councilman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Whereas the town board is desirous to make repairs at the town hall, at the town highway garage buildings as identified in the 5-year comprehensive study done of town properties on March 2021, And whereas it is necessary to engage the services of a professional in this field to put together the bid package in order to go out to bid on this project, and whereas the town board feels that it is in the best interest of the town to retain the services of Michael R. Berta, AIA Architecture and Planning, 7 Robert Road, Poughkeepsie, New York, 12603. Now therefore be it resolved that the town authorizes the retention of Michael R. Berta, AIA Architecture and Planning, to put together the bid package for the repairs to the highway garage buildings not to exceed $12,950, and be it further resolved that the supervisor is authorized to sign an engagement letter with Michael R. Berta, AIA Architect and Planning for this project.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Capelari.
Aye.
Councilman Benalini.
Aye.
Councilman Limak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Resolution 16, the approve renewal of Logically Data contract for 2025.
Excuse me one second. Mary, I don't know, Doyle Security is calling my phone. Is there an issue downstairs or something? Do you want me to pick it up?
Yeah, I mean, there shouldn't be, oh, maybe some,
Hello?
yes, finance department was leaving, so
Oh.
maybe they set the alarm and it didn't quite set right.
Well, why
Yep.
would they?
You want to turn it off?
You want to go downstairs and just see, John, if they're there?
Okay, I'll check it, but we're at a meeting here, so,
Can we turn it?
all right, we'll have to go check it, though. Thank you, you too. Court clerks, there's a burglary alarm.
In the court clerk?
I don't know, that's what she said, so.
Wait a second.
Can't get into that room.
No. Well, we're right here, we can see that nobody came
Yeah.
in, so we'll deal with it after the meeting.
It's
Okay,
locked.
yeah, it is locked. Back to Logically.
Could be the.
Okay. Whereas Logically Data currently provides network support and services to the town of Beekman, and whereas the current contract is set to expire December 31st, 2024, and whereas the town board of the town of Beekman is desirous in renewing the contract with Logically Data for the purpose of network support and service for 2025, now therefore be it resolved that the supervisor is hereby authorized to sign the attached contract with Logically Data for the support service for the year of 2025 in an amount not to exceed $41,605.
And I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Capelari.
Aye.
Councilman Benalini.
Aye.
Councilman Limak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Okay, Resolution 17, the year-end budget adjustments. Whereas the Town of Beekman Town Board periodically reviews and makes additions and withdrawals to the government funds restricted equity balances. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Beekman hereby approves the following changes to the government funds restricted fund equity balances as of December 31st, 2024, as follows.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Capelari.
Aye.
Councilman Benalini.
Aye.
Councilman Limak.
Aye.
Councilman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Whereas the town of Beekman is committed to responsible and efficient use of taxpayer resources, and whereas the town of Beekman has received and anticipated receiving annual and special funding from the state of New York through various grant programs, including but not limited to CHIPS, DASNY, FEMA, New York State Community Development Block Grant, New York State Infrastructure Grant Program. And whereas Section 3B5 of the town's budget and fiscal policy states that the government grant program aid is to be used first against expenses before use of town revenues or sources, and whereas the town of Beekman desires to ensure that all available New York State grant or federal program funds are fully utilized for the purposes of which they're intended before incurring costs from town revenues. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Beekman hereby directs that for any project or expenditure covered by a New York State grant, the town shall first exhaust all available funds from the applicable New York State or federal grant before incurring any costs from town revenues, and is further resolved that the town finance office, in consultation with the town supervisor, shall establish and maintain a clear system for tracking grant funding and expenditures, ensuring that all grant funds are properly accounted for and utilized in accordance with the terms of the grant agreements. It is further resolved that this resolution shall become effective immediately.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Badalini?
Aye.
Councilman Lemec?
Aye.
Councilman Warman?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Resolution 19, agreement between the superintendent of town highways of the town of Beekman, Dutchess County, New York, and the undersigned members of the town board. Pursuant to the provisions of section 284 of the highway law, we agree that monies levied and collected in the town for the repair and improvement of highways and received from the state for state aid for the repair and improvement of highways shall be expended as follows. General repairs. The sum of $450,000 shall be set aside to be expended for primary work and general repairs upon 135.92 lane miles of town highways, including sluices, culverts, and bridges having a span of less than 5 feet and boardwalks or renewals thereof. Permanent improvements. The following sum totaling $468,550 shall be set aside to be expended for the permanent improvements of town highways as listed below. A, on the road commencing at Gardner Hollow Road, starting west of Sterling Drive and leading up Gardner Hollow Road, a distance of 0.82 miles, there shall be expended and not over the sum of $136,350 for blacktop and drainage within a width of traveled surface 24 feet. B, on the road commencing at the intersection of CR9 and Furnace Road, leading up to Dorn Road, a distance of 0.34 miles, there shall be expended not over the sum of $48,500 for blacktop and drainage, width of traveled surface 22 feet. C, on the road commencing at the intersection of CR9, leading west on Dorn Road, a distance of 0.64 miles, there shall be expended not over the sum of $83,200 for blacktop and drainage, width of traveled surface 22 feet. D, on the road commencing at the intersection of Van Scoy Road, leading south on Roosevelt Drive, a distance of 0.72 miles, there shall be expended not over the sum of $98,200 for blacktop and drainage. Width of traveled surface is 22 feet. E, on the road commencing at the intersection of Lee Lane, leading south on Bow Lane into Hardin Drive, ending at the east end of Lee Lane, a distance of 0.67 miles, there shall be expended not over the sum of $102,300 for blacktop and drainage width of travel surface 22 feet.
I'll second that.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Badalini?
Aye.
Councilman Lemec?
Aye.
Councilman Warman?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye. I'm going to
Resolution
pass
passed.
this, there's 2 copies, if you sign and give it back to me in the blue ink.
Whereas the bookkeeper has audited and approved claims pursuant to Section 119 of Town Law set forth in the attached abstracts, be it resolved the payment therefore is hereby authorized as follows. Claims to be paid from the A General Fund, $37,029.04. Claims to be paid from the DA Highway Fund, $7,854.21. Claims to be paid from the SS Dover Ridge Sewer, $4,717.02. Claims to be paid from the SW Dover Ridge Water, $1,058.68. Claims to be paid from the T Trust and Agency Fund, $2,877. Claims to be paid from the H Capital Fund, $616, for a total of $54,151.95. 3/22/2025 payroll number 7, General Fund, $36,825.48. Highway Fund, $23,278.67, for a total of $60,104.15.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Badalini?
Aye.
Councilman Lemec?
Aye.
Councilman Warman?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Okay. I think some of the town board members, Frank, do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll go first. Congressman Pat Ryan, for the CARES van schedule, Tuesday, April 15th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., LaGrange Assistant Library Community Room, 1110 Route 55, LaGrangeville, New York, 12540.
Okay, thank you. Ezio?
Yeah, I've got something. So this Saturday, the Beekman Fire Company Auxiliary is sponsoring an event called Dessert with Peter Cottontail. It's this Saturday, April 12th at 1 p.m. It's for
Yes.
children and open to the public. It's this Saturday, 1 p.m. That's all. Thanks.
Okay,
Yeah.
Merson?
Yes, County Executive Sue Serino announces a new Honor a Veteran program. Sue Serino is proud to announce the creation of the Dutchess County Honor a Vet Ceremony. It's a new program dedicated to honoring deceased veterans for their service to our nation and community. Family, friends, community members are encouraged to nominate a veteran to be recognized through this meaningful ceremony. Through the Honor of Veterans program, we are privileged to pay tribute to the men and women who selflessly served our country and made lasting contributions to their committees, said the county executive. The program reflects our deep appreciation for our veterans and ensures their legacies live on in the hearts of our community. The Honor of Vet ceremony will take place at 9 a.m. on the third Thursday of each month from April to November at either Dutchess County Office Building, which is at 22 Market Street in Poughkeepsie, or the town, city, or village hall of the municipality where the honored veteran resided. To be eligible, veterans must meet the following criteria: deceased for at least 30 days, served in the U.S. Armed Forces with an honorable discharge, listed as missing in action, or died while serving in the military. Wartime and peacetime service is eligible with no specific service dates or length of service requirements. Applications for the program are available online at dutchessnewyork.gov/honor-a-veteran, or in person at the Dutchess County Office of Veteran Affairs, located at 1335 Route 44, Pleasant Valley, New York, 12569. Completed applications can be submitted via email to veterans@dutchessnewyork.gov or returned to the Office of Veteran Affairs. All applications must be accompanied by a copy of the Veterans Military Separation Papers, a DD-214, a WD-AGO 5355, NBG 22, or a report of causality, obituary, and a death certificate. For questions or additional information, please contact the Dutchess County Office of Veterans Affairs at 845-486-2060. And that is all.
Okay.
I have a couple of things.
Okay, just a second.
I have something.
Sharon has something.
Join the
To
Office
sign.
for the
There's two
Aging for a
copies to
free
sign.
Spring into Happiness
Yeah, so
luncheon.
Merson's gonna sign.
Join the
Did you
Dutchess
not-
County Office of the Aging for a Spring into Happiness, a free motivational talk and luncheon for Dutchess County older adults at Locust Grove Estate, 2683 South Road, Poughkeepsie, on Monday, May 5th at 11 a.m. It's a transformative event focused on unlocking joy and well-being. Seating is limited, so secure your spot today by calling 845-486-2555. I think there's, 2555, sorry.
And I just wanted to make a comment to wish everyone a happy Easter and a Passover for all of our residents who celebrate either one of those holidays. Lorraine, what did you need?
So just a couple of things really quick. Taxes are going great, so just to let everybody know that we're in the third phase of it, where it's a 3% penalty to the end of April. School's been paid, town's been paid, firehouse, Beekman Library, so everybody's been paid so far. It's going really great. One other thing, just to make everybody aware, because I know it won't be brought up, the school has been, everything has been taken care of with that. I have gotten the last check, and the gentleman's account is all cleared up. The school is all paid up. The bank rec has been submitted, and everything's all good. So just wanted to give everybody an update on that as well. One other thing, I sent an email today to the board. Sometimes it makes it a little difficult to include everything into the minutes because I don't always get the supplemental documents, and time again, I need to ask for the actual agenda items as well as a Word document. So I'm just asking again that I get all of the documents that pertain to this night, the meeting for that night. It would make it a lot easier. And as far as the Word document, it would get on the website a lot quicker the next day for approvals. But I can't do it if I don't have a Word document. So just going forward, if I can get that in advance, that would be great. And then just one other thing, I know you guys all received this letter today from the resident from Stone Ridge. I'm going to include it in the minutes, or?
That's fine.
Okay. Do you want, we don't read them, right?
No.
All right.
I just want to get
that's it.
back to.
I just want an FYI, I mean, Lorraine, usually the next morning you get the Word document.
We do,
Okay.
but so there's times that you're not here, so if I can just get it on the,
Okay.
the day that you have it.
When
it would
she's not
make it a
here,
lot easier.
we make arrangements to get it for you. It
Okay.
might come by noon time, but it gets there. Additionally, the supplemental material is up on, has already been scanned and is
But I
up
shouldn't
as a
have to ask,
draft.
I'm just saying, it would make it a
Okay.
lot easier, so I don't have to.
It's there and you get it
Okay.
the next day.
Okay, well, I would like all of this supplemental, because I don't usually get it, so just please make sure I get copies, and I'll be happy to add it into the minutes.
That's not what slowed it down, so.
Mary,
Again,
I'm not
that's
going to argue with,
misleading.
I'm just,
Good.
I'm asking
glad
you
you're not,
kindly.
but that's not what
I'm
has
just
slowed
asking
down
you
the
kindly
minutes.
going forward to make sure that you
Okay.
give me everything instead of holding on to it out of spite. That's it.
Okay, nothing's been held back from you out of spite. It goes up on the website and you get the stuff. None of that is why it's been held
Okay.
up.
Next
Let's
item,
go to, excuse me,
next item.
excuse me.
I'm not finished with what I had to say, so I have one other thing.
Great.
So I also wanted to say that Danny did do a great job at the Easter egg. The Easter bunny was great. Kate and Joe, I know you guys were there with me, and I think we had a good time, even with the rain. The kids had a great time, and they went out and got their eggs, and they had a blast. So I had a lot of fun with a lot of the crafts, too, so it was fun.
Okay, general public comments, Holly, Odell.
Hi, I'm Holly Odell. I live on 32 Lime Mill Road. I just wanted to make a comment about the minutes. And I thank you for bringing up, Mary, about transparency, because that's really important. And I'm sorry that your senior clerk had to take so much guff. And I'm glad to see you standing up for her like that, because for the last year, we've watched what appears to be an amount of bullying for other people. Anybody who's gone to the town clerk's office for any length of time has seen it, from you and other board members. We've seen it here. We've seen it with your attitude and the way you work together. And when I see never received minutes from 7 months ago, I worked as an IT team lead for 20 years, and if I didn't have a report that I need, I would ask my secretary, I would ask somebody for it. The buck stopped with me because I was the leader, and it would be nice if we had a leader that, 7 months for something that's supposed to be up the next day, and all you can do is throw slings and arrows now, after that much time. To me, it's just ridiculous. It's just, the bullying and the nastiness is just, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
Well, fortunately, I don't find that I am bullying, so I sleep at night, but I'd like to respond. So I wasn't getting into all of the details, but I have the senior clerk, as I said, post this stuff. From August 21st, 2024, it was sent a request. When you can, forward me the accepted minutes from May 14th. Now, they are presently on the website. July 18th and July 23rd. Those were not received. Okay, so that was a request on that date. On October 15th, the senior clerk put together a worksheet and requested that, per our conversation below, the minutes I'm still waiting, at your earliest convenience, please send me the minutes with supplemental documents in a PDF format. Once I receive, I will post on the website. If you have any draft minutes ready to post, please add draft to the document. And then we have the dates. May 14th final minutes, July 18th final minutes, July 28th final minutes. I also do not have the agenda and adopted resolutions. Please send them as well, and I will post. August 20th final minutes, September 10th draft minutes, September 24th draft minutes, September 30th draft minutes, October 8th draft minutes. On January 16th, she again sent a report, okay, with a list of items that were missing in terms of the minutes. 514, and she not only, she has a whole worksheet, so she dated, she put up the agenda adopted resolutions in the columns, the minutes, town board approved minutes, town board approved minutes with the dates. So the first, she's got 514 final minutes, and they've been taken care of. 718, 723, 820, and 910. She then has a list, 924, 930, 10:8, 10:22, 11:6, 11:19, 12:2, all of 2024 that were draft minutes, and they have not been accepted. And then 12:11, need final, draft still on. 12:17 have been put up. 12:30 draft minutes, 1/8/2025, 1/13/2025, 1/21/2025, 2/3/2025, 2/11/2025, 3/4/25, all draft minutes, and she had made this sheet and sent it January 16th. She then updated it, the sheet, as we were accepting them, 3/27/25. On March 27th, she asked if the March 4th minutes would like to be posted. And she posted them at that point. So she has been following up. On March 27th, we received the minutes from September 20, this is March 24th, 2025, we received the minutes for September 24th, 2024 to her. Would you like me to post? Yes, and she posted them and then said, just specifically let me know that you want them posted on the website, and I'll post them as soon as possible. If not, I will assume you do not want them posted on the website. On March, no, I'm not finished. March 24th, okay, September 30th came. She did not, they were not requested to be posted. She asked if they could be posted. She said, I posted September 30th on the website. Can you confirm that you want them posted? Otherwise, I will take them down if you don't want them up there. She has sent other emails indicating the process she would appreciate followed. So to say, I wasn't reading these, and it's not bullying to say the facts, but since you said that they weren't up and we made no effort to get them, that's simply not factual.
Well, that's kind of what happens, I know in my experience in the workplace, that's kind of what happens in a toxic environment, because people don't talk to each other. You've got two secretaries who help you.
I do not have two secretaries.
Well, one and a half.
We've gone through, I don't have one and a half.
Secretary, deputy, whatever.
I do not, well, we'll get into that at the
Well,
next
maybe that's the
meeting.
problem, but,
Right.
you know, I mean, we've seen it, I mean, when she asks for information from you, you know, we see the way you respond, not certainly the way you did to your senior clerk. You know, it's just, I think everybody here has seen it over the last year, and
I think they have gotten an eyeful, because I get from other supervisors that tell me that Wednesday mornings, their staff is very entertained by our town board meetings. That's very distressing to me. But thank you, I appreciate your, Tracy?
Tracy Zemko, 96 Gold Road. I was just trying to follow up in regards to previous requests for support in regards to the drainage easement. There's been I provided a bunch of documents to Dan and to Tony, and I know when I talked to Tony, he says that he's waiting to, with the town attorney and from Dan, correspondence, now that the weather has been getting, the the water has been extremely heavy. I've reached out, I've done due diligence on my part, I've sent documentation where I've contacted the railroad behind us because of the water flow that comes off the mountain. They said that they're not responsible typically, and I know the town attorney had said that there's a gray area because of the way in the 60s of how responsibility comes, because the subdivision, or however you call our area, Indian Hills, that once it's completed, the town takes ownership of drainage and et cetera. It's getting to the point where we're having water overflow. We had Tony come out because of the ice buildup at one point in the winter. I just am concerned because it's been since, I think, November, if I'm not mistaken, when I've been sending documents back and forth, and I haven't really gotten a response back other than we're working on it. And I know Lorraine has pulled documents from storage at Dan's request, and I guess documents were not filed very well back in the day. So I'm just trying to get some support and
Craig,
guidance.
do you have anything? And I can get an update from Dan, or ask Dan to update you.
Yes. First of all, the records in the 60s were not very good, but the notes on the maps were even worse. So there is drainage that is shown on maps, but it doesn't state that it's going to be a town obligation. Like in today's day and age, we have subdivision declarations of easements from the subdivider to the town, where the town becomes, involved in maintaining it. That is absent, not only on the maps, although the easement's shown, but it doesn't confer any obligation to the town. So as a result, highway law comes into play, and the highway supervisor and his staff are only allowed to go 15 feet from the road into private property in order to maintain culverts or drainage such as this. So I have given my opinion to Ms. Zemko, and unfortunately I can't make up obligations of the town that don't exist, but if the town board wants to have a discussion about that for legal advice, Dan and I will make ourselves available.
I'll talk to Dan about what would be a good date, and we'll get back to you.
I appreciate that, because
Okay.
as noted, Enzio, his property and the neighbor across the street, back in '99, the town, where easements show on the map, the town went in and enlarged their drainage easement and has responsibility. There's drainage easement a little further up our road that the town has gone in. Tony came to the house. He said there's a difference of opinion between, and I'm not disputing on that, but there is a pipe on in between the property. We didn't install it. The town at the time was the highway superintendent, Dave Temple. He put something at the end of the road, some type of, I would say, drainage thing, but Dan said it wasn't. I don't know. The town installed it. So that's where there's a lot of confusion for us of ownership and responsibility, but it's on the map, and if the town took ownership of easement for Enzio's and Todd's property, that neighbor, I don't remember the number, I want to say it's 106, but I'm not, don't quote me on that. The town took ownership on that and installed a larger drainage easement, so
Okay.
I
And I'll get back
appreciate
to you
the
on that.
guidance on that, thank you.
Okay. Kate Blake?
Hi, yeah, Kate, 231 Clap Hill Road again. Just a couple of really quick things. I wanted to echo the sentiment that I thought that the egg hunt on Saturday was a really fun event. I thought that the kids had a really good time, And I want to say that I think that there is some good in social media. I actually would not have known that Danny was looking for volunteers had I not seen that post on social media on the rec page. So I hope that she posts more. I would love to continue to volunteer and help out for any opportunities that are available. I also just wanted to give a shout out to you, Bill. You show up literally at every single meeting, and you really work hard at giving a voice to people and entities in this town who might not otherwise have one. And I think it's a really difficult discussion when we're talking about development, because our property here in Beekman is really valuable. It's only going to continue to get more valuable, I think, and obviously there's property owners' rights at play, but I really appreciate you bringing what you do to the discussion, because I think that even though it is a tough spot to be in, I think that some of your recommendations are really reasonable, and one that I've been thinking about a lot, I know you saw my comment, but is the road to the entrance at Doherty Park. I think that that is a really reasonable recommendation that Bill has made, and I think that it would also represent a budget savings to us town residents, and I think it's one that we should really give some serious thought to. So thank you for always being that voice. And I also want to say, and I guess I'll direct this to the supervisors who watch this video on Wednesday, please don't make jokes about this town. We are all neighbors, we all live here. This is serious, I think, to everybody who's in this room. We all want to be happy in this town, we all want to get along, we all want to work together, and I really don't think that making light of our discussions here on Wednesday mornings is the way to accomplish that. Thank you.
Bill?
Bill Crane, 254 Gardner Hollow Road. I didn't expect those kind words from Kate. Thank you for them. That was really great to hear. It moved me. The idea that she's referring to is to keep the roads at Doherty Park natural dirt, natural surfaces, and you know, they could be graded, but they would save a lot of money and would preserve the rural character of our town. So that idea, I hope you'll maybe find some way to pursue that. A couple other items. Several of us are concerned about the DEC's policy with respect to endangered species. The endangered species that are most common in our areas are the Indiana bat, the bog turtle, and to some extent the New England cottontail rabbit. The concern is that we think they should be protected year-round, not just when they're hibernating. If people want to look up Indiana bat on Google, DEC and Indiana bat, and you can get their account. It's pretty neutral, and people can make up their own minds about whether the policy of just protecting them, this species and other species during hibernation period, and leaving them open to the destruction of their habitats once spring comes, makes any sense. And if you want to know more, you can email me at billcrane@aol.com, just my name at aol.com, or write the DEC. Their website is wildlife@dec.gov. That's wildlife@dec.gov. The second item is on Earth Day. The Beekman Library is having an Earth Day celebration on April 19th, the day after. It's during Easter, but people still said it seemed appropriate. And it's the day after Good Friday and the day before Easter. It's at 11:30 a.m. and we invite everybody, no matter what their beliefs or political persuasion, to come and help us celebrate the Earth, our Mother, the Earth, and meet our animals and have a good time. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Our next meeting is actually going to be on Earth Day, Tuesday, April 22nd at 6 PM. And at this time, I make a motion to move into executive session to discuss issues relating to proposed, pending, or current litigation. We will not be taking any action, so I'm not sure how long we'll be there, but we will not take any action. If you want to sit, we'll come up and close the meeting, but that'll be the end of the meeting. Okay, wait, I made a motion. I didn't hear anyone second it.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.